Even when we were renting, we were always highly motivated to customise our spaces. And we would always come up with nifty ways of hacking off-the-shelf furniture or going all out and building something custom to fit a particular space. And I think that this apartment is just that same DIY spirit on a far greater scale.
I'm David Chapman.
And I'm Jess Grunow. And we are the designers and owners of this 2-bedroom apartment here in Thornbury, Melbourne.
I'm an industrial designer. I work in a product design and development consultancy based here in Melbourne, and I also have a background in furniture.
I work as a graphic designer for a studio based in Fitzroy. The apartment just was really in need of an update. Something that we felt we really wanted from the space was a bit more versatility. We wanted something that could be comfortable for the everyday, but that could reconfigure when we had guests over. But also at a top level, this was a really exciting challenge for us. When it came to the kitchen, we used an IKEA carcass, and this was a no-brainer budget-wise. It's just a really reliable foundation that can fit in the appliances that we were after. And then we were able to make it our own by using custom plywood fronts. We installed our own benchtop and we got custom handles made by a Brisbane-based designer. What we landed on for the dining space was to create a custom banquette seat. So the L shape was the most effective use of that space, and then when you squeeze in a decent sized table and 2 stools, you've got a really lovely, inviting little dining space. But we've made it all the more functional by squeezing in some extra storage underneath.
So for the living room, we introduced a cabinetry element that wraps 3 of the walls. So instead of cluttering the space with additional furniture pieces, we were able to make all of those out of this one cabinetry element. So that includes a TV cabinet, storage, and a long bench seat across the window. We created spaces for our books and our objects. We like to have those on display, and we feel it's a shame to bury some of our nice objects in a cabinet somewhere. Lastly, the hall cupboard, we overhauled that to introduce coat storage, linen cupboard, and a mirrored nook. We wanted materials that were hard wearing and would have good longevity. The first material we selected was the exposed birch plywood. We both love the style of ply, but we also love the style of joinery that celebrates the material itself, and we just love the warmth that natural materials bring to a home. By using CNC processes, this would allow us to design and engineer the parts here on CAD, have it sent off-site to be cut, brought back here, and it allowed us to take our time with the assembly and then have a builder help us install it. The second material we chose was a large format tile, and these 1200 square ceramic tiles was able to be cut precisely off-site using water jet cutting, and that made it easier to handle in a small apartment. So in the end, we were able to make our kitchen benchtop, but with the spare tile, we've been able to find interesting uses for that material. When we were planning out the build, we weren't able to really tackle some of the bigger sustainability aspects that we would have liked. So these include things like solar, insulation, glazing, and in particular the building orientation as well. So what we had to do was think about how we can be sustainable on a smaller scale through the material choices and also the efficient use of those materials to minimise waste. Because we had control over the cutting plans, we were able to really maximise the full sheet of plywood, and this also applied for the tiles as well. So we were able to tessellate and arrange the different panels in a way that would have as minimal waste as possible. This was really evident when we saw the material delivered, and after popping out all of the different panels and having a stack of all of the offcut, we could see just how effectively we used all that material.
Something else that speaks to our DIY spirit is little things that we've made all around the place. I dabble in ceramics, and you'll find some of my wares in every room on little shelves, tucked away in little spots, as well as that fridge, which I created as an ode to my most favourite food, the tomato.
So the other standout for me in particular was all of the auxiliary products that we were able to make from this process. So when we were laying out the plywood for the cutting process, we noticed that there were spare bits of material that could be used. We were able to make a coffee table, a side table, drinks tray, a record stand, as well as lots of little objects like coasters and wall hooks. We took such delight in finding those opportunities and applying the same process to really get the best bang for buck out of the material that we purchased as well. These have become everyday touch points in our life, and yeah, we just take so much joy in making use of what would have otherwise been scrap sent to landfill essentially.